Alright, hello. Alright, people. This is what if tatsumi from Akame ga Kill was basically over motherfucking powered. And so basically how this will start out is, so tatsumi, when he is born, they have these two purple eyes, and they think it's a imperial arms. So they try to experiment on children to see if it will bond with them. These two purple eyes were named the rinnesharingan. Yes, sir. But yeah. And so they bond with Tatsumi as a fucking child. This nigga. They train the living daylights out of him. Like, legit. So, when he's 2, he can already, legit, wipe out an entire army by himself with little to no difficulty. And he wears this, but the head, it's basically like how in Cursio's helmet is. But the people that raised him at the temple also had in Cursio. And y'all asking, hey nigga, what's bro gonna have? Because bro is, again, one of Tatsumi's friends from Night Raid, and they killed off fucking bro. Like, legit. That was sad, but no need for wave anymore. Bro, aka Bulat, will have Grand Chariot. But instead of in Cursio's, so this will be in Cursio's basically like base form, melded in with what he wears at the time. Okay. But so as a child, this man is built 6-pack, about 4'2", because keep in mind, kid's only like 2 years old, and he can fully speak and everything. So by this time, Azith was 4, and she had already, her people massacre thing had happened, and she had went to the royal capital, and they realized she's quite strong. We should give her an imperial arms. She gets her original imperial arms from the anime. If you didn't know, this is as death. She thicker than a Snicker, and she my waifu. Like, legit. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, sure, she may have been evil, but shorty bad. Like, let's all be honest. What I want some, like, what a fine little thing. Won't you back that ass up? But so they say Tatsumi, or wait, no, I have to go through all the Rinnegan abilities. Alright, so he has Bancho Tenin, so Almighty Push, Almighty Pull. He has the King of Hell, which can basically cure anybody of any wound or illness or anything, and can basically almost bring them back to life, which, if it's only been a minute or 2, he can. But if it's been about an hour or 2, he can't. Like, whatsoever, he cannot. So basically, he has to be there, when it happens. for him to do anything. But that's just right now. It'll get stronger over time. But, he has Susanoo, and it basically looks like, it looks like Kakashi's Susanoo, because I really like the way Kakashi's Susanoo looks. But instead of, being gray, it's white. But, he does get called the White Demon of the Mist. Like, legit. Because, his body's so cold. Because, that's what he can do with his Rinnegan. Again, it's also one of his abilities. So basically, he has, freaking ice style. But yeah. So, he's so cold that it creates mist. So, White Demon of Mist. But, they say, you will be sent to the Imperial capital to serve under someone. He says, serve under somebody. Serve under somebody. Shouldn't they be serving under me? And they say, yes, you are quite strong, but you also lacks most experience. And he says, whatever you say. So he goes to the Imperial capital. He's just walking around like this. But his hair is white, and it's not that long. Or no, none of his hair shows. But so, and he goes, staying up working on model kits is exhilarating, but also exhausting. It's weird. But he goes, he meets the minister and the child, and the emperor before the child. Because if you didn't know, the child emperor is only 12, so he's about 3 years younger than Tatsumi. Or no. Yeah, child emperor was 12. Tatsumi was 17, so that's 5. Sorry. So this is like 5 years before the nigga was born. But, so they say, greetings, White Demon of the Mist. And he says, whatever. So who am I supposed to... God, she's hot. Like, as Death, she walks in carrying a traitor, like just this random person, and she says, this one deserves to be executed. And he's just like looking at her, and he's like, I want some. Like, let me smash, mama. Like, I could get used to this. This nigga's trying to shoot his shot. Like, come on. Bring that fine little thing over here. God, I cracked myself up. But she says, who are you? And why are you in the capital? Are you an enemy? And he says, no. I still want to know who I'm supposed to serve. Like, all niggas should be serving me. But sure, let's go with this shit. And they say, we understand that you have multiple Imperial arms. And he says, yeah, nigga, what about it? Oh, yeah. But, yeah, his Susanoo is that color. And, one more ability that he has. Oh. Sorry, I almost dropped my phone. Tsukiyomi. But, it's basically like Itachi's, but, like, stronger. Like, different level. Like, nigga, you see them eyes? You, instead of 72 hours, nigga, it's 72 billion years. Like, legit. But, anywho. They say, she is who you will be serving. And he says, huh? Fine. And she says, him? I don't even know him. He probably doesn't even have a reputation. And they say, can you not tell by the cold temperature in the air? And she says, no, I legit can make ice. Like, the fuck? They say, oh yes. He is the white dragon of the mist. I mean, the white demon of the mist. And she says, huh? The one that wiped out the entire southern tribe? And he says, the one and only. But, so, this nigga, he says, you don't seem too strong. Let's have a sparring match to see if you should serve under me, or if I should serve under you. He says, if you land one hit on me, then you can have me as your servant. But if I lay a hand on you, you become my servant. And she says, alright, take off that stupid armor, though. And he says, alright. He says, release. And you just see this buff-ass 4-year-old 8-pack. Yes, not 12 per staple of my channel. Sadly. But, so, oh yeah, also, yeah, I got, this one video of mine basically got banned for viewers under the age of 18. You should all know it was a video commenting about what someone did on my channel, and some shit was said. But yeah, so it's just, so they go into a safe place where they can spar without hurting the surroundings or anything like that. And she, like, lunges at him. And he does have white hair. His hair looks like Broly's. And he says, pathetic. You lost when you looked into my eyes. And she says, huh? Boom. Tsukiyomi. And she gets teleported to this black area where she's hanging on a red cross. And she says, huh? And he just starts stabbing her and obliterating her. And just freaking torment Monica. Like, he says, think we've had enough of the blades after 1,000,000 years in the Tsukuyomi. And they say, why is she standing still? And then he says, because she's in my genjutsu. And they say, huh? He says, it's an ability that I have that no one else in this world does. And they say, Anywho, so he says, alright, I'll just be using my hands from now on. And he lowers the cross. Grabs her face and he says, you're quite cute for someone so cold. And she says, tell me a ninja joke. Watch this. Y'all are gonna enjoy this.
Did you hear about the ninja dog competing at Westminster? She won best in no show.
God. That's legit. Tell me another ninja joke.
What is the ninja's favorite song? You might think, The Sound of Silence, but it's actually Killing Me Softly.
God, that's hilarious. Anywho. So. That was a little comedic break from Alexa. But, so. He says, how dare you? And he says, how dare I? How dare you for being too cute? He laughs and smiles at her brightly, just like how he did in the anime. And she says, she blushes and looks away from him. And he says, you're cute when you act like that. But still, I think I'll end your torture now. She says, really? And he says, no, I'm enjoying it too much. And she says, like she's getting turned on. Because if you've watched Akame ga Kill, the turn on is real. But, and he can decide whether to be in this form or this form without the repercussions of this form. Because if you've read the Akame ga Kill manga, when Tatsumi transformed into this, it started having repercussions on his body, to where he had to transform into a dragon, like a full dragon, and he went berserk for a few minutes, like legit. That shit wasn't pretty for anybody. But, Tatsumi can decide whether or not to transform into that dragon form. Like, the dragon form. But, I'm dragon on. Get it? Dragon, because dragon. Get it? Okay, nobody know. Okay, sure. Anywho, excuse my piss poor fucking comedy. So. And if you can't tell, JoJo, Golden Whip. Anywho. Speaking of which, I haven't even used my intro in a minute. Like, legit, it's been a minute. But, so, Deku. I mean, not Deku, Tatsumi. He tortures her for a minute. What did I say? 1,000,000,000 years? Yeah, 1,000,000,000 more years. And then, like he says, your time's up. He takes her off of the crucifix, hugs her, and he says, you aren't quite worthy of being my leader. We'll be equals, though. Not your sidekick or servant, though. The genjutsu breaks, and she, like, falls to her knees, and then blood pours out of her body, and they're all like, nigga, what the fuck did you do? Because it was only, like, a minute or two in the real world. And he says, some fuck shit. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I did some fuck shit. And they're like, no shit, Sherlock. And he says, okay then, why'd you ask me? And they say, we are quite stupid, aren't we? And he says, you think I can't tell? But, his, like, outfit is basically like, Broly from Z's outfit. So, no top, no, freaking necklace, or the arm things. He do got my Supreme Kai earrings, though. Hey, nigga, you gotta have the drip. Like, if you ain't got the drip, your girl must not be sucking your tip. Like, dog, you must not have had head in a minute. Like, legit. I can give you the School Thoughts phone number if you would like. Like, just let me know. Like, hit me up, send me an email. Do whatever, my nigga. Like, legit. I'll send it to you. But, and legit, I will. I got her ass on speed dial. But, it's only temporary, okay? Leave me alone. My girl just broke up with me. Fucking Kiara. I totally did not just throw my girlfriend's name out there. Yeah, that was some random chick's name. It was her name. But, anywho. So. He grabs her, puts her on his back, and he says, you like the view from up there? And she does have pretty big tits for a 4-year-old. She goes, yes. And he says, I like the view from down here too. And she says, pervert. And he says, what? It's not like we're dating or anything. Is what she says. He says, we can if you would like. She says, And then, during this time, Najanda also comes, and she says, so, this is the place where I was supposed to meet to find out who would be my partner and our subordinate. And he says, not your subordinate, I'm also an equal partner. I mean, I beat her ass. I can beat yours if you would like. And she just sees this buff nigga. And she says, no thank you. He says, good. And they say, alright, so what's our first assignment? This nigga still having his death on his shoulders. She says, put me down. And she's like hitting his head. Like, you know that cute anime head thing? Yeah. She's doing that. And he just says, they're cute when you're frustrated. And Ajin does just like, have you two been flirting just like the entire time? And is that what you meant by it? And he says, no, in combat. And emotionally. And she says, fuck me. And he says, no thank you. Your chest is a little too flat. And she says, what did you say? And he says, I said your chest's a little too flat. And she's just like getting mad at him. And he said, And she just now notices his rinnesharingan. And she says, what's up with your eyes? And he says, oh, I have 2 imperial arms. And she says, Ow, why? Fuck. I need to get this toe checking out. Jesus. But, anywho. So, they get assigned to go deal with a small militia of people. And so, they just say, alright. This nigga, he just walk out with his death on his shoulders. He says, alright. So, they go off. He's still carrying her on his shoulders. And she says, let me down! He says, alright. And he's like in midair jumping. He takes her off of his shoulder and she says, not now! And like she's falling. He says, it's alright. Calm down. Here, let's get on my back. And he like feels her nips press up against his back, and he's just like, I would die a happy man. Like, these things is big and beautiful. But anywho, so they get to the place and he says, wow, only 1,000? I should have brought 1,000,000. And I say, huh? And he says, watch what a god does. He says, heavenly earth destruction jutsu. And they say, huh? They see 3 big shadows appear over the area that they're in. He says, take a meteor, you fuck shit. And they say, huh? And like they sent a random officer to go see how they would do. He called back in and he said, the white demon of the mist obliterated them all with 3 meteors. And they say, hold up. What? And he says, you heard me right. Only him. He used 3 meteors. That's it. And they say, well, don't you think that's a bit fucking overkill? He says, yes. Also, he's right behind me. Please, bye. And he just says, they didn't trust us, did they? Wimps. And they just say, we could have enjoyed the backup. But, so they all get along. They're friends. But, time skip, 10 years. So, Tatsumi's 12, Esdeath is 14, and Najida is 16. So, the northern tribe tries to perform a rebellion. And the southern tribe had already refixed its shit. It has a lot more people. So it just says, so many infidelities. And, like, this nigga's built. Like, he's, like, he's, like, as built as me. Yeah, he's as built as me. But, anywho, he says, I'll wear my armor this time. And he says, no, I'll go into my dragon form. And just to give y'all a look, sorry, that was fapping material. This works. Basically, he becomes a big ass dragon, about the size of a building, and they say, nigga, what the fuck? Like, this nigga's tall. And he just says, what? But, anywho. Anywho, so he goes and he says, so weak. He just raises his head and opens his mouth up, and she says, no, my turn. He says, mine. And Najin goes and says, no, it's mine. And so they all say, alright, fine, unity attack. Godly devastation. And so basically, Esdeath summons 3 ice meteors and like 1 billion ice pillars. And they all like slam down. And then Tatsumi, he charges up a ball of energy that looks like a soul punisher. But like really big. He blasts it out of his mouth, circles the area that he wants, and then he says, burn in hell. And then Najinda, I'm gonna say, she was able to use pumpkin, the one that mine uses. And And so, like, her feelings were so, like, emotionally charged because she did sort of kind of have feelings for Tatsumi. She said, God cannon, full power. Spoke Kishibe Rohan. Anywho, so she blessed, and bada bing, bada boom, group attack, godly devastation, and he just goes back into what he normally looks like. He says, "All right, we're done." He's like, "Yeah." And at this time, Najinda figures out that, hey, no. So, they go on a mission to kill some of the revolutionary army. And, like, she, like, figures out, like, all the stuff that normal people are going through. And Tatsumi, he goes and says, well, okay, that has nothing to do with us. No, does it? And she says, no, but should we still do... No. We stay out of it and complete our mission. Quiet and simple. And she says, but... And it is at this time she starts forming Night Raid. So she finds Akame, Mine, Bulat, Lubbock. And, like, she no longer had a crush on Tatsumi. But Lubbock, Shell, Chelsea, and she also finds her Imperial Arms, Susano. Wow. Nigga, how dare you? King of the Weebs just released what if Naruto was raised by Esdeath? One, how fucking dare you? Two, what have you done? But anywho. So then he goes and he says, well, this is weird. And she says, yeah. So they form their own squadrons. Esdeath, she gets her 3 demons, per usual. And Tatsumi, he just goes alone. Like, he doesn't need any help. So, time skip 5 years. They're all in their 20s. Or, no, 7 years. So, this nigga's 23. Esdeath is 25. Esdeath is 22. My nigga's only 21. Because it was just his birthday. And Najinda is 25. 25. So, this nigga, he's walking around one day, and he spots Najinda with this girl with yellow hair. And what looks to be in Imperial arms. He says, I'm gonna go pay my old friend a visit. He walks up to her, completely concealing his presence, and he says, Hey, Najanda. And she, pulls back, and Sue comes out of nowhere. He tries to attack him. This man just grabs Sue's weapon, and he says, Like, I was just here to greet an old friend. The fuck? Chill the fuck out. And she says, Oh, it's you, Tatsumi. And Leona says, Oh, so this is the Tatsumi you talk about so much. And he says, Is this your daughter or somebody? Najanda? And she says, No, it's an associate. And he says, Alright. But, hey. I know you and Ezra don't have a good time together, so can't do what I was planning on doing. And she says, What was that? Going to get a drink. And she says, That's just like you. And he says, I know it is. Alright, well, peace. And he says, Goodbye, Najanda. See you around. And he, disappears. And she says, Sneaky ninja, as always. And they say, So that's another one of our prime targets, isn't it? And she says, Yes. The white demon of the mist. Tatsumi. And she says, He's stronger than me and as death combined. So all Night Raid members would have to attack in unison to ever defeat him. He's far too powerful. Oh yeah, by the way, this is a movie, so this will be done in about the time span that I usually finish a video. But, so he's walking away. He says, It was nice to see her again. And so, Night Raid gets up to its shenanigans. They kill the chick in episode 1, the little girl who killed Sayu and whatever the fuck his name was. Non-important nigga. And then, and so, yeah, they do that. Sir Ubiquitous kills Shell. All of Night Raid's members train harder. They kill the executioner nigga. Now we're leading up to the events of episode 7. So, as Death comes back, and Tatsumi, he didn't know, so he was chilling at the hot springs, and then She comes in, and he says, "Oh, hey Cronus, what's poppin'?" And I'm just gonna say there's like a guard named Cronus, and he gets along with him. And she says, "Oh, it's you, tatsumi." And he says, "Eh." Cause like her voice like kinda semi like sounded just a little bit different. Cause she had been gone for a year. But he looks back. He sees fapping material. He's just like, "Second brain down there. You better not," he says. And then his second brain goes, "You're not the one that decides these things. The tent has stood up." He just says, "Well, shit." And she like walks in and she like sees his boner. And she says, "You're quite hard." And he says, "Fucking hell." And he says, "You see nothing." And she says, "Yes, I do." And she like curses it, and he says, "Fucking heaven." And she just goes underwater, and he says, "Huh? What are you doing?" Oh my god. She's giving head underwater. He just says, "What a great feeling." She created a vacuum. Right there. Where she can suck freely. Yay! Like, legit. But, what's this nigga? Bump, cream. And she says, "It tastes quite good." And he says, "So are we a thing? Because I'm pretty sure we were back then. So what are we now?" And she says, "You could be my husband if you wanted." And he says, "Yep." And so they get married. Najinda gets word. She kinda jelly. Lubbock is like, how come I never knew that she liked that white demon from the mist nigga?" And they're all like consoling him, like, "There are plenty of fish in the sea." And Balat's like, "Wonder what he looks like. You all got to see him, but I never did." And they go, "Well, yeah, stupid. He's called a white demon for a reason. Like, he's a demon, you shouldn't see him." He says, "Yeah, but I wonder how strong he is." And like, she walks in and she says, "Stronger than me and Azeth combined." That's another reason why she married him. And I say, "Huh? Why?" "Because he's the only person stronger than her." And, I will be doing a, what if Deku had, Koro? And what if Deku was the reincarnation of Koro Sensei from Assassination Classroom? But yeah, so Tatsumi, he's proud. He's like laying down one night, and then she climbs in bed. She spoons him, and he's like in the morning, he's just like, "Ah!" But then they get word that that her 3 demons had been killed by Bulat and Lubbock. But yeah. So, yeah. So, Tatsumi. He says, weak. So, she forms the Jaegers. He says, alright. So, Pyro Dude, fucking Akame's sister, Akano, or whatever. Or yeah, her name was No, Akano's from High School DxD. It's funny how I have 2 waifus, and yet they both get turned on by the same thing. Akano and Esdeath. How strange. But, anywho. So, Tatsumi, he goes and he says, quite annoying, don't you think, to have these people just running around and annoying the crap out of me. Because they think I give 2 shits about their bull. But, so, oh wait, yeah, Bulls, Kurame, Sir Ubiquitous, the freaking angel teacher dude. And I feel like I'm missing somebody. I'm just gonna say Wave has a different type of Imperial arms, and it's a sword as well, and it basically if you get hit with it, you get corrupted by it, and then you're put under mind control for a certain amount of time. And then once that wears off, you die. But yeah. So, when they all get in there, they're like talking, and like as this comes out to test them, and then Tatsumi, he walks in and he says, "What are you doing, honey?" And she says, "What? Livening up these people." And they all go, "Honey." And she says, "This is my husband, Tatsumi." And he says, And they say, "So, what's a general doing with somebody that looks like a lowlife?" And he just says, "What was that?" Because that's what Saryu said. And she says, "Well, no offense, but you look like a lowlife." And he says, "Bitch, you're dead." And she says, Not even I can stop his power. He's far stronger than me. Let me tell you that much. So, bye-bye, Saryu, you might die. And she says, huh? Tatsumi lunges at her. Goes into this form. And then he says, God Punisher. Boom. She just got put 6 feet under. She ain't dead though, thanks to Koro. Because that's her Imperial arms. But, she then says, oh wait, yeah, Dr. Stylish. That's who I was forgetting. I was like, oh wait, yeah, the pothead scientist. Like, I just now remembered. I feel like a dumbass. Anywho. So. Tatsumi. He says, anybody else want some? And they say, so, what should we recognize you as? And he says, the white demon from the mist. Or the white demon of the mist. And they say, wait, you're the white demon of the mist? And he just goes back into his form and he says, yes. And he's like, you're famous. And he says, yeah, got an issue. Also, if you're a fanboy, I will kill you. Also, goodbye. This is it for this video. Peace. Part 2 will come out sometime.